achieve a good declaration. The other one is policy coherence for development. And here I think you have a very important role. Development does not come about only by development cooperation. We need all different political areas to strive for the same, in the same direction. And here you have a very important role as social actor to make the public sphere and the governments and the European Union really to have a coherent policy. And the Commission is currently finalizing its own second biannual report, and it will be presented this autumn. So we would welcome a more strategic, focused and long-term approach to policy coherence for development, taking into account partner countries' perspectives. If somehow could help us out in this regard, that would be most welcome. We also need to focus on effectiveness, development effectiveness, aid effectiveness, and show visible results. We have EU's leading, one could say, in development assistance worldwide, providing some 60% of the total development cooperation in the world. But we want a stronger, a better and more effective development cooperation. And therefore we are trying to implement the agreement we had in Accra. And I know that John Deremeker is part of the OECD DAC cluster A on accountability, taking the lead on ownership. And I can't imagine a better person to do that, because you have a very strong own identity as a labor union. Ownership is much more than just governance. You need the parliament on board, you need civil society, you need the social actors on board. The fourth priority is on democracy building. And this is also a challenge to make a more coherent, we want to have a coherent policy framework for the Commission and the European Union when it comes to democracy building. Democracy cannot be imposed from outside. It must be built from inside and from below, but it can be supported from outside. So we hope to have Council conclusions on this in November. But before that, as Vanya said, we have the European Development Days. We will have some 5 presidents and prime ministers. We maybe come up with, I think there are now more than 3,000 people registered to the European Development Days. We have still 2 more days to register if you want to. Please be there and be an important part of that dialogue. But then let me quickly go into the issue on civil society. The Swedish government just recently adopted a new policy on the support to civil society within development cooperation. It's the first new policy on civil society we've had. And it's nice to see that we have representation here from Canada as well, because Canada has helped us out a lot in developing this policy together with civil society actors. So with this policy, we are the government is putting out some basic value starting points for a coherent approach for all the direct and indirect support to civil society, both bilaterally and multilaterally. So this is what we are. I would like to just share you quickly what we want, how we see upon civil society, where you have a very important role. And we do this directly to civil society, but also creating an enabling environment. And it's really about pluralism.